Hello and happy Friday! I told a joke recently here on FluteTube about conductors. I'll put a link to that joke. Sorry, conductors. But the main point of that joke seems to be that while conductors don't do all the work in the orchestra, they tend to get a lot of credit for it. Perhaps today is my apology to conductors, because today I'm going to talk about how useful it is to learn to conduct. I hope what I say today will give you some good ideas about how to incorporate conducting yourself into your flute practice. And if it does, please like and subscribe. I'm going to explain to you why it's important for you to be able to be your own conductor. And to begin explaining that, I'm going to start with a couple of questions. First question is, if you can't keep a steady beat while conducting yourself through a complicated rhythm, how do you expect to keep a steady beat while you're playing through that complicated rhythm? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Second question is, if you can't conduct a complicated passage that has a complicated meter and or rhythm, how do you expect to be able to play that perfectly? Some of what I'm demonstrating is really hard to do all on your own. Even today, I know I'm going to create a doppelganger version of myself in order to demonstrate to you what I'm talking about. It's really best if you can find a flute friend. Do I have any flute friends? And take turns conducting and playing. One of you plays, the other one conducts, and then you swap and you can work on the same music together. This is especially great for orchestral excerpts. In fact, a third reason to practice conducting yourself, or have a friend conduct you, especially in this instance, is that if you think about what happens in an orchestral setting, you'll always be playing with a conductor. If you're getting ready to play with an orchestra, or if you're getting ready to do an orchestral audition, it's a really good practice tool to have a friend conduct you, because obviously when you have no conductor, you're completely in charge of yourself. But with someone else in the mix, you must be more flexible and adaptable, because someone else is going to be collaborating with you on tempo and other elements that are going to affect the musical experience and the technical experience. How you breathe, how you phrase is going to depend on things like tempo. That right there is a great suggestion for when you're practicing orchestral excerpts for an audition. Your friend can make you play them slower, faster. They can conduct in a really legato way or a really jerky way that implies more energy. This extra demand on you as you play will force you to learn your excerpts more deeply, know them inside out, so that you can play them and adapt to any circumstance you might find. But let's be clear that never in any setting, whether it's playing in an orchestra or preparing to play in an orchestra, the conductor is not there to give you good rhythm. You need to solve all of your rhythm problems before you get in front of a conductor. The conductor is there to help things be more unified, to help with the ensemble playing, to help the whole group have the same kind of interpretation of the piece, to bring 40 to 80 people together, but not to teach them correct rhythm. Fourth, here's one more reason to think about conducting when you play. So far we've been talking about conducting, and I've been giving you some examples of pieces that have quite strict rhythm. We've been trying to get precise rhythm in complicated passages and things like that. But conducting is a really good way, I find, to test your rubato. Are you doing acceptable amounts of rubato? And what I mean by that is, in pieces that have a lot of acceptable push and pull in the tempo, are you honoring the composer's wishes or are you rewriting the rhythm of the piece? I like to tell my students that when they're playing pieces that have a lot of rubato in them, beats can contract or expand, but they can't disappear or multiply. If you can conduct yourself when you play, or a friend can conduct you, and the conductor can react to your solo playing, that happens in an orchestra setting too, we're going to give the performer some leeway. We're going to allow beats to expand and contract a little bit, but if it's completely unnatural to conduct, if we have to get rid of beats, or we have to hurry through them really fast, or we have to stop and let them go for a really long time, that is not acceptable rubato in my book. That is rewriting the rhythm that the composer still bothered to put in there, even though the composer said this is rubato. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, one. Da ba ba da ba da 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 dee da ba da dia two. 1, 2, 3. Ba 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 da ba da 1, 2, 3 da ba da dia two. 1, 2, 3. 1 da ba ba da ba da 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 ba ba da da be da 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 da ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, da da dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da dee da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1.